Hi, I'm Rodney Johnson, co-editor of Boom and Bust as well as Economy and Markets. In 2006, at the height of the housing bubble, we wrote a report called The Death of Pensions. The main points were that defined benefits promised to current and future retirees couldn't possibly be paid, the situation would get even worse when the economy turned down, and that most providers, meaning public entities, weren't even acknowledging what they owed. Unfortunately, we were right on target. Private companies, many of whom realized the problems that they had with pensions and other things, raced to freeze, cut, or eliminate their benefits over the last several years. The possibility of facing these big liabilities that would bankrupt them was very motivating. In their efforts, these companies first outlined the size of the issue and then took steps necessary to bring the costs under control. That's a very rational approach. It's probably why cities and states will refuse to do the same thing. Detroit and Chicago are putting their retiree problems front and center, but it's only because the facts on the ground force their hand. The city of Detroit is bankrupt and under the control of an emergency manager. Chicago is only months away from a crushing increase in its required pension payments. Citizens are bracing for increases in taxes and fees, while current workers face increased contribution requirements and retirees, in the case of Detroit, face the possibility of lower benefits. Many people in these cities, as well as employees and retirees, were shocked in 2012 when they learned how little money was actually put away. These two cities avoided their pension issues until the monsters under the bed effectively ate the bed and it couldn't be ignored anymore. While perhaps not as far along as these two basket cases, many cities and states are on the same path with severely underfunded pensions. But at least the pension liabilities are listed in the financial statements. We know what they are. The retiree benefit monster that lives in the closet is not about pensions. It's about other post-employee benefits, or OPEBs, which is government speak for health care. Unlike underfunded pension liabilities, the promised health care benefits are largely unfunded, as in zero money set aside to pay for the costs in many cities and states. The size of the hole nationally is about $500 billion. The Government Accounting Standards Board, GASB, wants to force all public entities to include their unfunded health care and other OPEB liabilities in their financial statements instead of hiding them in the numbers in the footnotes. This would provide investors, citizens, retirees, and basically everybody else who's interested with some sort of estimate about how much this is. Are they actually setting aside funds to pay these debts? Or are they simply hoping somewhere down the line that the required benefit payment will simply disappear? GASB's taking comments on the new rule through August, and then they'll hold several public hearings on the subject in the fall. I fully expect cities and states to oppose this rule because it will severely affect their financial statements by adding billions of dollars in liabilities. The fact that it simply represents reality and at least moves us a step closer to addressing the issue by looking at the size of the problem won't make any elected official more likely to support the rule. They've ignored it this long without a negative effect, right? Unless, of course, you live in Chicago or Detroit or one of the other cities struggling with this. Look for this rule to pass and eventually cities and states to raise their taxes and their fees as they begrudgingly address this $500 billion problem.